matchup. Are you as well, Neo?
Dude, how could I not? It's the DreamHack Anaheim champion against the DreamHack Winter champion, and it is such a decisive match for the playoffs. Currently, Moon is at 2-1. He had a super cool day yesterday with a 2-0. Now the loss against Lin. Sock, on the other hand, has 1 win and 2 losses. So if Sock wins this, they're both tied, and then Sock has maybe an advantage in maps as well. So whoever wins this has a very good position going into the playoffs, and all of a sudden Moon could struggle. But if we look at their recent matches, that is looking pretty good for the 5th race, because he won the past 3 encounters.
Alright, let's get it started. We're on Conceal Hill. We've got Moon spawning in the top right hand side, going for a standard build order here. You're always supposed to create that camp up first on this map. And he's opening up with the Keeper, which on this map is very normal, whereas on the other side, we've got Sock with the Archmage creeping the exact same camp. We've seen Sock during DreamHack Winter, the one that he won, play extremely well with a Beastmaster second on this map and some very strong pushing potential, which Moon will be very well aware of. So I'm curious, does Sock still do this build, and will Moon be ready for it, and what does he do to counter it?
Yeah, it looks like Moon was ready for everything yesterday. Today, maybe not so much, but he must know that if you want to advance from this group, you have to beat Sock, and Sock is, for me, the most improved player in 2020, and there's not really a doubt for me even, especially when we only look at the Asian region. He became from one of the top 10 players to one of the top 5 players, and I would say the best human that only plays human today in the world.
Yeah, I think definitely, or at least the best performing one as of late, for sure. Very high in the yellow rankings. It seems like something started clicking with him, and he just started playing out of his mind. Won some tournaments here and there. Like before that, yeah, I don't think he was necessarily considered a championship caliber player, but now he definitely is. He's had so much success as of late.
Exactly, winning DreamHack, winning the Africa Warcraft League. That was a wonderful, wonderful year for Sock in 2020. On this map, I think everything had to be expected, so it comes down to performance at the moment. The first Archmage goes down, not the Knight, but look at this! Militia arrives, surrounds the Keeper, instant TP, and that's almost a free expansion for Sock here. At least a creep.
Yeah. This is the dream. To be able to force a town portal here means that Moon won't be able to harass nearly as well. Yeah, it's a very easy creep on that expansion, even though he lost a little bit of militia time, because he was surrounding the hero and targeting it. As you can see, like whatever militia take the most damage, he can send back to the main base here, and he will still be able to start the expo. Moon staffs right back. That was so smart. Instead of running across the map, he went to the merchant, bought a staff, gets back across the map here at the timing where a lot of the peasants are already very low, and they're not being denied right now. That's a mistake by Sock not to deny this. We see the Keeper getting closer and closer to level 3, and the big null here, still with some decent hit points. New militia will be coming in here to try and secure this. Whoa, a little bit presumptuous to start a tower.
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation for both of the players. Archmage, of course, very hurt. If an entangle hits, might be his end. On the other side, Moon, the staff is still on cooldown for 50. Who got the experience was the Archmage, I believe. But if this Keeper gets surrounded here, he's dead.
Oh, he just stole class +9.
Oh, ouch.
This is great for Moon now, looking to try and kill more units. If they don't get denied, that's going to be a Keeper level 3 momentarily. Treant going to work as well. One footman's about to fall. There is a militia very low. Keeper doesn't have town portal anymore, and the staff of teleportation is down for 30 more seconds. It might be a good time to just run home with the Keeper, use those Moon Wells, and then staff back to this side of the map to harass the peasants again.
Exactly, that was my idea as well. Great minds think alike, right? So let's see how aggressive Moon is playing this, or if he takes a step back. The creep's not woken up, so good bath for the Keeper here. And he doesn't even have to go back. There's still a little bit of mana. He just goes for the base once again.
Yeah, I think he took another option here where he healed a little bit first from the fountain. He's going to summon one set of trance because he's got over 100 mana, and then he will staff out of there. Actually, no. He doesn't go for the trance. So he forced the human back, and seems like he was maybe just happy with that, or he didn't see those trance doing enough. He's so close to level 3, maybe that's why. He wanted to make sure he gets level 3 first here before he spends any more mana. So he's preserving his mana count on his hero, and now he's going to be able to get level 3 easily from this turtle up there.
Okay, but that's also time for Sock to establish that second base, to get the gold in, to get the tech started, to get the rifles out, or go straight to tier 3, whatever you want. We see a Demon Hunter second by Moon.
Yeah, his tech advantage in this game is going to be insane because of how much the expansion was delayed. But yeah, Sock now pressuring with Water Elementals level 2. Moon so quick with the Wisps, much like yesterday against Infi on Echo Isle. Detonating the Water Elemental immediately, taking all of the mana away from the Archmage, looking to try and score some more snipes on those Footmen. He has Entangle level 2 to work with. And I think those Footmen, they're going to be having a pretty difficult time now that this is there. But the keep now starts, so actually, I thought the tech would be more delayed for Sock, but he had enough lumber to start this already.
And this is a wild game. There might be 2 Footmen falling on the left-hand side. This little birdie gets the kill. And yeah, that's the timing of the game with Entangle level 2, where the human oftentimes walks into a meat grinder when every Entangle is basically a kill. Moon is not teching. He's going for an expansion. In his base, he doesn't have Nature's Blessing yet, so it will take a long time until his second base is up, and Sock is trying to catch up. In tech, he's going for the beloved second Drax. He gets the Blacksmith, so lots of rifles coming.
Crouching Archmage, hidden Water Elemental here, trying to do a bit of harassment thanks to the Cloak of Shadow. He saw the exact direction that... Oh, he gets burnt at 125 mana, so that's going to prevent the next Water Elemental. Very nicely done, because there was no Abolish Magic finished just yet. It's only halfway through done, so a big catch here by Sock, who's... That Demon Hunter, by the way, he came out, bunch of Footmen died, he already gained half a level.
Yeah.
So that guy will be leveling very quickly in this game, and the expansion just finished. He can start walking, or it's about to finish. He's going to start walking that to the Expo immediately, but Moon actually didn't go for Nature's Blessing, so it's going to take a very long time for the tree to get over there, because he wanted to start tier 3.
Wow, this will take forever. This might just be starting to entangle when tier 3 is finished. We'll see about that. I'm curious, do you still go Mountain King when you see, okay, that Demon Hunter is already level 2, he will burn a lot of my mana?
It's very tricky. Like, the standard for a very long time used to be that, I mean, it was against Demon Hunter first, but that you would always go Naga second against any sort of Demon Hunter play. But now that Demon Hunter is being made as second, it's very awkward. Some people, they go for Blood Mage. There's so many different heroes you can do. I would say at the top of that list is usually Naga or Blood Mage, but you can still go Mountain King because of invisibility from sorceresses. You can go Mountain King into Blood Mage third. There's so many options, and it seems like there isn't necessarily a clear one that's best right now.
Okay, we'll see what Sock is going for the Afrika Freaks here. Would love to get that Shredder, but there's almost no Footman remaining. Actually, there's no Footman remaining, and the Archmage is being surrounded once again. Has to go for the TP because the staff was still on cooldown, so a little unnecessary. He did no damage, just got a bit of information, and is going for a Blood Mage.
Forces are under attack.
Yeah, it's so nice to be able to counter the mana burn like this, but Blood Mage doesn't always necessarily have the best utility in the fights. In terms of providing like some big AoE, because you can't really go Flame Strike usually. Like, you have to go for Banish to try and save some of your units. It's very micro intensive, but if you can do it well, it's still very strong. Moon rushing for Tree of Eternity as quickly as he did instead of starting Nature's Blessing tells me that he understands the urgency of the push that's going to be headed this way. He knew there was most likely going to be a lot of rifles pushing his Expo, so he's like, I need to rush those MGs. And he, actually, did he forget shot for a bit?
Looks like it. He can't go for an early Mountain Giant like we saw yesterday.
Yeah, because Shop is only now being produced.
But maybe he wants to go upgrades first anyway, so he might queue 2 more Dryads, then go for the upgrades, and that would be a greedy build though against this soon-to-be 70 supply army by Sock.
Yeah, no, as soon as this Shop finishes, he should queue his first Mountain Giants, maybe 2 of them, and yeah, just start getting ready for the push that he knows is going to be headed his way. That Demon Hunter is leveling so fast. Oh my god, it's already 3.5.
Moon's actually going for a mix, interestingly. So it's 1 Mountain Giant and Hardened Skin immediately. So this works. This looks like that was the plan all along.
Yeah, it's to counter rifles. Like, this is the perfect response. We saw Infi against Moon do a very strong push. And at some point, I thought it might look good for him, but Moon played masterfully and defended with Mountain Giants, and then eventually was able to win that epic game that is the 2-played, and now he's looking to try and do the same thing here on Conceal Hill, a map with fountains, so technically it's even better here for Mountain Giants because you can get that free healing if you ever force the opponent to fall back or even Town Portal.
And it depends a little where the push arrives, right? If the human is sieging upper left, it's a really tough time to send them to the fountain at the left-hand side of the map. It's gonna take years for the Mountain Giants to walk to the right-hand side and back, but the Archmage gotta be careful here, getting blocked by Moon. This Demon Hunter is super scary with plus 21 damage, but there is Banish. Banish protects from physical damage, enhances magical damage though, and getting entangled, so little pro, little con. But now we have the battle of the mana heroes here. Demon Hunter can burn, Blood Mage can siphon. Who's gonna end up on top?
Oh, this is beautiful by Moon. He's buying a lot of time here. You saw he re-engage, or pretended he wanted to keep Sok right there instead of letting him get on top of his expo immediately. Sok is bringing peasants. He might start a couple towers, maybe even a shop sometimes here. Moon needs to buy a bit more time. Ideally, you want to have 3 giants against this. Goes back in for a mana burn. That keeper is a little bit out of position here up there. Really wanted to summon some of these trends. The keeper's taking so much damage. Oh my god, he's the one carrying the staff as well. That forced one scroll to be used already. And the great healing wasn't the Demon Hunter that whole time.
Yeah, you can carry all the claws in the world. If you're banished, you're not doing anything. The banishes by Sok are excellent. Scroll the Bees popped as well. These rifles are doing so much damage, but the MGs can take so much damage using the taunt over and over. Demon Hunter down to 40%, has a big potion though, so I'm not too sure if that is necessary. Mono with the staff last second. Jesus, that was super close. There was nothing left to save him anymore. And the siphon continues, but the Mountain Giants are also still standing. In the meantime, while this fight is running, Sok is towering this up with 4 towers. I'm not even sure if he has guard towers or if that's... Okay, he does.
Moon needed wisps here. He really needed wisps against that Scroll of the Beast. He could have also drained all of the mana from those priests. He's putting the archers on the towers now, piercing damage. Take those out very, very quickly. They didn't get repaired on time, so 2 of them already fall. 2 of them are gonna finish. And Sok is still pushing very strongly, but Moon has 2 Mountain Giants tanking so much of this damage. Meanwhile, now the heroes are doing a ton of damage themselves. If the Demon Hunter gets targeted, he can get double staffed as well. So this is probably not the best target. Those 2 Moon Wells beautifully placed, by the way, to help heal even better around the expansion.
No tier 3 by Sok behind this. It's just this tower push. More damage on this Demon Hunter who has to be staffed out again. And now the push onto this expo continues. It was a tug of war. Who will have resources at the end? Who's gonna have mana at the end? And it seems to be Sok, thanks to the Brilliance Aura, thanks to the Siphon. Wisps are coming in finally for a little bit of repair. And now Sok's big challenge is 3 big Mountain Giants.
I am so surprised that Moon didn't use more Wisp here in the fight against Scroll the Beast, but one of those Mountain Giants comes back into the fight. He now has 4 Mountain Giants against a pure rifle army with just the priests reinforcing. Both heroes of Sok completely out of mana. Those Giants are not feeling anything, and even if they did, he could just staff them back home, send them to the fountain on the right-hand side, and Moon is pushing this attack back here, which might mean he's just gonna get super far ahead. Castle starts behind this. It's a disaster for Sok, who's on 56 supply against 69 now.
It looked good for a second, but then Moon was back, fresh from the Moon Worlds, re-engaging into the fight for Mountain Giants. MG equals GG seems to be true once again, as rifles don't stand a single chance anymore. There's no crowd control at all. Can't even really run away from them if everything is slow, because Moon's Dryad Micro is absolutely excellent once again. But the towers are still taking care of that entangled gold mine. Maybe he can lower Moon's income. Kind of hope for his 2 base advantage to continue, save himself into the tier 3, and then somehow buy some time for Knights in Inner Fire.
Yeah, we saw Infi being very stubborn with rifles against Mountain Giants. Given how many Mountain Giants Moon has right now, I don't expect Sok to make the same mistake. I think he's going to be aiming for a Knight Inner Fire army base, but yeah, he's already trying to counter the Dryads as well with the Workshop, which is going to be for Mortars with Frag Shards, but Moon is not going to get stubborn with massing Mountain Giants either. Like, he's already getting Druid of the Claw at that training, and he's going to be adding bears to his composition.
Ours finished off. The expansion is clean again, so we'll see how this goes. Another base, and that is, as Mr. Remo Demo puts it, the Stalemate Breaker prevents Sok from expanding there, gets vision there, and of course we all know Moon, he loves to expand all over the place.
Yeah, Keeper actually got level 5 from sniping those towers on the top left-hand side with just the MGs, so that was a nice level to get here. He keeps on sending trends to harass those peasants whenever he can. That was actually what I think helped him win the game yesterday against Infi. It's the amount of summons that on Last Refuge he kept sending to the bases. At the end of the game, Infi had one single peasant left. Why? Because there was Quill Beasts and Bears harassing his peasants the whole time, and eventually he started losing a lot of these workers. But yeah, this is super efficient because you're not really going to have a priest here in position. Like, eventually, if he gets the Staff of Sanctuary, he could staff a priest back home. But look, this trance being super annoying. And in the meantime, he's using Sock's lack of attention to his main army to get right on top of him. Demon Hunter gets level 5. He's completely out-leveled. He's level 5-5 against 4-3 right now.
Yeah, it's just once the Mountain Giants are there, you don't get any kills anymore. You can't really reach the Dryad. There's constantly taunt. You are attacking the Giants, but you're not killing them. The heroes are super tanky as well. Level 5 Demon Hunter. The Keeper is super safe in the back. He saved himself into the tier 3. He saved himself into the ability of going for Knights. Will that be the saving grace? He needs upgrades on them as well. And that's a weird fighting position. We have a mortar team, but they can't really reach the Dryads. They're in the safety zone back behind the MGs. Banished everywhere here.
Yeah, the Mountain Giants. You might be wondering, like, why is Moon fighting here? This doesn't look like the best position, but that's the thing. He's not really losing anything. He didn't have Resistance Skin just yet, so Banish was actually lasting the full duration on those Mountain Giants. As that finishes, they're going to be even better against any kind of magical spell or damage. And like I said, Moon didn't really lose anything here. He can just retreat as soon as anything is in real danger of dying. Send it back to the fountain. Just get that free healing.
Yeah, Sock would love that as well, especially on the Knights who just arrived in this fight and they're already bruised. Demon Hunter is back. Absolutely wonderful staff usage by Moon. Just staff him out after he took a ton of damage with all his armor and the evasion. The EHP is phenomenal for the second hero of Moon, and he's now sniping the workshop. That means no more what's that called? Mortar teams, no more frag shards, and the Knights are dropping soon as well. Sock is getting good positions here, but MGs just don't care, and the Treants kill the peasant line again.
There's so many peasants that died already. Sock is down to 13 workers total. Sniping that workshop is a big deal because I think there is only one mortar, no, 2 mortars left out on the map. So he can just go into a lot of Dryads, because eventually maybe he might be able to like kill those mortars, and then Dryads just are completely uncontested in this type of army fight. But yes, Sock, he's holding on for dear life right now. Entangle on one of those Knights, 2 sorceresses feel almost useless, as slow doesn't even last really long.
Sock has no lumber anymore. He's at 5 lumber. I think he transitioned his peasants into the gold mine again and now rebuilds. Still going for Knights. He has to rebuild peasants as well because he lost so many of them. We're approaching the 20-minute mark, and shortly after, the main bases will expire. Don't forget, Moon has the 3rd base on the high ground.
Yeah, he doesn't need to just play on Twisted Meadows to mass expand against his opponents. No. Just give him that 1 extra expand and he'll gladly take it. Keeper, almost level 6 as well, would be a giant power level. And because we don't have a Mountain King, how do you counter Tranquility? There's no way to cancel it.
Forces are under
Banish?
It doesn't cancel it.
Really?
You would have to go for Mountain King 3rd.
That's rough. And he would be burned with a level 3 mana burn, so really not that easy to do.
Oh my god, those MGs. The crazy thing is, if one of them is about to die, it's just gonna get stuffed, and then could go to the fountain easily.
It's daytime now. Moon Juice might be low because the Demon Hunter used a lot as well. Constant reju, constant replenishments here. And the taunts prevent so much of this focus fire, but it's incredible how long Sock is staying alive here. I think any other human player, it doesn't matter where in the world, would have crumbled already for like 5 to 10 minutes. Sock's still fighting, and the Mortars are getting more experience here. But yeah, both heroes close to 6.
Demon level 6 would be huge, but he doesn't have the mana here to use ultimate anyway. He could double staff, actually, technically. To get right back in there. Moon making sure he plays it safe as well, so he bought a taunt portal. I feel like Moon hasn't lost a unit in a very long time here. Maybe like some 1 or 2 Dryad, but those MGs, I don't think a single one of them has gone down just yet. He's getting literally every upgrade right now.
He's getting 2, he is at 2-3 already, he's getting 3-3 now. These Mountain Giants getting more and more armor, and at some point they start to do a little bit of damage as well. takes the fountain, clears it, probably a good item, but Sok going in with Inner Fire Knights. Is he finally able to do this necessary damage, take a couple of Mountain Giants out? But you know what? Fighting against Mountain Giants at a fountain is the worst idea possible.
Yeah, but it's like, nice creep jack, bruh.
Yeah, that is gaining HP. Look at the HP region. It's percentage based, of course, for all the viewers out there. Mountain Giants have the highest HP in the game, so probably not the best idea. How long can Sok stay in this game?
I think as soon as those heroes get level 6 here, he might be starting to realize there's no way anymore. But he does have a lot of army with Inner Fire right now, and as we know from Remo, his obsession for Inner Fire, usually with rifles, it's a pretty good thing to have in those fights. Doc, it feels like he's not doing too bad given all things. Given like how many peasants have died, which by the way, there were more Trants sent to the main base a second ago. But worst case scenario, I think Moon would just town portal out of there.
Not only now Sundering Blades is ready. This is a big damage increase for Sok on the Knights against the Mountain Giants. Can he finally take out an MG fighting windmills with sticks in their hands?
And Moon's trademarked the triple Chim Roost.
It's coming!
There it is. He has so much gold saved up! He could do a Mutalist transition if he wanted here almost at this point. I mean, what is going on here?
Oh my god, yeah, like the language of Warcraft is universal here. You don't need to know Korean to see that triple Chimera Roost is the equivalent of get out of my game.
But that was a weird counter here with just Dryads and some Archer. I'm surprised Sok town pulled for that. Because he didn't feel like he was doing that bad in the fights.
Also, his main expired.
They're still not getting any third hero. I mean, he's kind of broke, to be honest. Or actually, no, he was supply blocked. He does have a bit of gold to work with. He's gonna go for the center base. If he attacks the expansion immediately after, before Chimps enter the field, Sok might still have a chance to win this. This is nuts.
There is now double ultimate for Moon. We have Tranquility, we have Metamorphosis, but yeah, you're right. Mortar Teams and Knights just clean this expansion in the middle. That's gone. Can he claim the high ground for himself? He has no gold for that as Moon is wiping out his base. We have another base race, ladies and gentlemen. So how powerful is that really? Soon, no one will be able to mine anymore, but Moon still has a 1,800 bank. He's going up to 100 supply very soon.
Yeah, Sok only now getting Animal War training. It literally just completed. I think that's because he just didn't have lumber to start it before. It's a very important upgrade. Obviously, it gives extra hit points for his knights. Finally getting a bit of creeping going. I mean, level 4-3 against 6-6, that's usually, you know, a game that you should be getting out of. But here, he's definitely made the most of that army that he has. He's buying scrolls, and I think it's going to be one last big push, ditch effort. No, he town portals back home to try and save his main. I was sure he was going to attack the Expo. Now Moon is going to have Fairy Dragons. He could easily queue some chimps immediately behind. And the main got sniped.
Yeah, the castle is gone. Level 4 on the Blood Mage, okay, but the TP is gone as well. Sok has to walk all the way back north, and Moon, with that Sentry Archer, will see the movement of his opponent. So it's the easiest task in the world for him at the moment to get ready for this push, to get the perfect position, to get 1 or 2 items here as he's close to the shop, and then go. He never went into Chimeras, by the way. It's Fairy Dragons and Bears instead.
Yeah, I actually like that because I feel like it might have been overkill to go chimps here. Fairy Dragons can be very useful with Flare against that many casters. It's coming in hot. Let's see that Metamorphosis is finally coming in handy here. Potentially, he waited a very long time, but finally there it is. Demon at the front tanking a lot of the damage. He's got a ring. Gloom Bracer as well, doing a ton of damage. He's going to save the Tranquility for later on. Still not with a third hero here for Sok. He's completely all in. He has to win a fight here, but there's so much Night Elf. 96 supply against 65.
Moon is completely maxed out and he's getting more regen. The Tranquility heals everything back up. It's looking like Sok can't even touch Moon here. The Fairy Dragon position is amazing. The Wisp Detonate is flawless. And Moon, after being defeated by Lin, is back with a big point on Concealed Hill.
Looking incredible against Human right now, actually. It does feel like during the last WGL he was struggling quite a bit when he played against Infi, and he worked tremendously in that matchup, and he's looking very, very scary in a matchup that's, you know, has proven to be tricky for Night Elves as of late or in general.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That must have been the task from WGL to now, like from one major to the next. That was his weak spot, and I think the 0-3 Grand Final bugged him more than he would probably agree to. And if Moon has a task in front of him and that's his homework, he does his homework almost perfectly. Like, Stock, it was a nice push, but Moon seemed to be very ready for this as well.
Yeah, the decision making again, like, so beautiful by Moon. So many Night Elves, they would have just started Nature's Blessing, and then he would not have had the Giants with the upgrades ready, helping out at the expansion when he was being attacked. So really, in terms of build order and strategic decisions, Moon is so on point this tournament. Like, I know he lost the series, but other than that, it's been so clean, in particular against Human.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Exactly, and that win here might be the playoffs for him if he gets it. He has all the big guys out of the way then. Stock is struggling. He came in hot here as our winter champion, but as we say goodbye to winter and hello to spring here in Germany, we might also say bye-bye to Sock soon.
Yeah, it's tough. The execution is just so good by Moon. Like, I feel like one thing that Sock maybe could do a little bit better is sending a priest to his main base every time there is trance. Like, in this game, once this has happened just the one time and those trance went to your peasants, you know it's going to keep happening the whole game. So just keep sending a priest every time they are there. They might end up feeding you a lot of experience, those trance, if you're in position with a priest to dispel them and then use your Arcane Tower to like weaken them in the first place. Now it was kind of the opposite. It was the trance farming peasants the whole time. He kept on losing worker after worker, had no lumber. I don't even know how he even recovered at all and managed to get Sundering Blades and then Animal War training. He must have been spamming peasants the whole time. But yeah, usually when you see this kind of rifle push, Human has to kill the Expo or do something amazing on the Night Elf Expo, because otherwise, if you get pushed back without killing the Expo or killing a lot of units, including all the wisps in the gold mine, you've lost the game, and that's kind of what happened here.
Good thing is in this matchup that it's not stale. We have a lot of variety, and our next map is Echo Isles. And now I'm really curious, like, what are the hero choices for Moon? He can pick a lot. He could go Beastmaster, he could go Warden, he could go Demon Hunter if he's really crazy, or if he's expecting a Mountain King off of Sock. So this might be a very, very different game, as it is a very, very different map.
Yeah, usually Warden is one of the scariest choices that Night Elf can go for. It's very difficult to play against. You need not just the right build order, you need the right creep routes. So you need to anticipate fully what the opponent's going to do. Now Moon, we did see that he played Warden very solidly against Infi. He made the Ancient of War near the Mer camp and crept that first. He made the Ancient of War kind of safe, which you mostly can do if you spawn on the right-hand side. If you spawn on the left-hand side, maybe it's a bit harder. So yeah, position's going to be important. And what does Sock choose to do? We've seen Sock do some crazy things too, like in the past, like, you know, on Amazonia, forcing an altar and rushing across. Like, he's capable of throwing in these one-off crazy builds, tower rushes, and weird things that, you know, maybe Moon might not be ready for.
Gotta be ready for everything here. Maybe even Blood Mage first. Angry Korea Man calling. All right, Echo Isles it is. And as you said, the position tells us a lot, and Sock must know what Moon did to Infi yesterday, right? He must know that there's probably 3 wisps, but maybe that's not even the question here as we see the starting positions. Everything seems to be working fine now. We're just moments away from the second map of this best of 3. A super important one for both of them. Moon, if he wins it, he's one big step closer to the playoffs. If Sock is winning this, of course, we go to a very decisive game 3. Super excited for both of them. Moon recovering from the defeat against Lin. Sock still struggling. I was watching his camera a little bit before we went into the broadcast, and he was punching his chair, he was putting his head down, like fully concentrating. He said in the interview with Rotti, he's a little bit nervous, and maybe that comes in. It definitely looked a little nervous, but maybe the B-boy is finding his rhythm here. Our second map, Echo Isles.
Let's get into it. Look at this. Sock already sent a peasant across the map. If there was an Ancient of War in that location, he would have tried to pull the creeps to get them to attack it. But yeah, like I said, on the left-hand side, it's very hard. You have very little space in this area to build your Ancient of War, so it can be very scary to make that here if the opponent's going to be ready for it. Moon, knowing that, he's living in the future. He anticipated entirely. He was like, oh, well, you're going to send a worker there, try and pull the creeps to attack my Ancient of War. I'm not going to go for that at all. He goes for an Ancient of War at the expansion and a Keeper. So smart play by Moon.
Unbelievable. This Engine of War at the Expo is so smart. Hero choice-wise, this is a little throwback to DreamHack Summer, when Moon played exactly that, a Keeper here on Echo Isles with a Demon Hunter follow-up that worked really well on Concealed, and maybe that's the go-to strategy once again, just half a year later.
Yeah, I'm so impressed, honestly, with Moon. Like, again, I know he lost one series, and it feels like right now these Orcs are doing very good against Night Elf somehow, which is the absolute opposite of what we saw last year. But against Human, he's looking so scary. Like, I'm just gonna bet if I meet him on WC3 Champions at this point.
I think he's playing, right? And he's like 60-0.
Yeah, I think the game that he got Grandmaster with was actually against Mikael, and I think it was 46 or 44-0 at the time. But yeah, he has one account with no losses. And he has another account that he lost a bunch of games on, but clearly didn't care enough.
I think he's
when he tries out, he didn't lose.
Yeah, for sure. It also feels like not only is his initial game plan very good, he also seems to have a very good backup plan, like this right here. Okay, I'm spawning on the left-hand side. I do have my plan B or even plan C to go for that expansion Engine of War bottom left. Like, Moon did his homework for sure.
No, his understanding of the matchup is looking on point so far, which again, like in this case, is the opposite of what we saw in WGL, where he looked a little lost.
Yeah.
Not just like with the understanding of the game, but also build otherwise. But a Keeper on this map, definitely much easier to play against than a Warden. Like a Warden I find very complicated, personally, and I feel like a lot of other humans would agree on that. Obviously, Keeper is still a scary hero to play against, but it's a lot more straightforward, like what you're supposed to do here as the human.
But wouldn't you think that like Sock is definitely one of the #1 practice partners of Lawlion, and Moon's Warden is not nearly as good as Lawlion's Warden is, so maybe it is a good idea to not play Warden if you're Moon against Sock?
Yeah, I'm not sure I would go as far as saying that Lawlion is much better with the Warden. Like in the past he has been, but so far in these tournaments, well, in this tournament, like if the way Lawlion's been playing, and then has Lawlion ever beaten Infi in like 6 minutes on Echo Isle? I'm not sure. So yeah, in this tournament, Moon has looked insane with Warden against Human, the one game that we saw it in against Infi.
Well, that was rather the Wisp, though. What did the Warden really do in that game? But yeah, in general, I think we agree. Expansion coming up on both sides, and it's pretty much finished at the same time. Of course, the Night Elf still has to entangle, and I wonder if Sock will find a better opening with the Footman, because that was essential to a Human's game in the past couple of weeks. To use the Footman to full extent before the Keeper gets level 3, level 2 entangle, before you lose all these Footmen, they oftentimes went for tech buildings, shops that are coming up, or even Moonwells.
Yeah, they're both making the best decision possible here right now. Like if you're Sock, you couldn't pressure too much because then you would have been entangled to death on your Footman. And if you're Moon, knowing that, he knew that he had some air for a bit, so instead he just went to creep to get closer to level 3, which we saw before. It's a big level to get quickly so that you can just entangle a lot of these Footmen, get rid of them, and get rid of any kind of pressure and aggression potential from Human. Moon is really... like, he's focusing so much on getting rid of those water elemental. Like, we saw that yesterday against Infi, was perfect in position, but just in all games in general, any time that he gets attacked in his main days, he's fully ready to detonate 2-3 wisps if need be, get rid of those water elemental. And that's why he was doing that, because he gets level 3 now. Yeah. And the Entangle Fest shall begin.
Wonderful calculations, exactly. Can he get the last hit? Nope, didn't get it. Okay, but the next water elemental... denied. Did he get it? I think it was denied.
Yeah, very nicely done by Sock here. Tree of Ages underway. So the tech slightly ahead right now for Moon. I see a second barracks and lumber mill and shop in the production tab. And there is the blacksmith. A little late actually, but I guess you can get a lot of footmen in the first place before you go into rifles. And it looks like Sock might play with the same type of push that we saw last game here, maybe. I mean, unless he wanted to save gold and then go into more of a knight and castle army. Moon just looked so solid against rifle push last game that I don't know if this might encourage Sock to try and play more with tier 3 and castle.
Yeah, is there a reason why this push might hit earlier? I think the base-to-base distance is not too much smaller from Echo Isles to Concealed. The Moon should have the right amount of time to go MGs again.
Yeah, the expo was not nearly as delayed. So supposedly everything should be a little bit quicker because of that. Yeah, if you're Sok, you should be thinking about that. But Moon this time expanded a lot faster, so his economy is going to be far greater. So he's going to have more goals to, you know, get Moon Wells at the expo, work with shop items, and just buy time in general.
Love the defense, perfectly finishing with a tier 2. 1000 gold for Sok, a little low on lumber, as humans always are on Equiles for some reason.
Okay, tier 2 finishes for Sok. It's going to be a mount tanking this time around. And Moon has... I wonder if he's waiting.
Yeah, right? Does he want to scout this?
That would be next level. Because like he can really choose something that counters his opponent's second hero really well. So instead he prioritized going for tier 3 as soon as tier 2 finished, starting double lore, and he's adding a ton of Moonwells.
And he's also getting a rifleman. He was just hanging around at the barracks, first entangle, focus fire, boom, bye-bye, dwarf.
The Archmage is not even that close to level 3 here.
The excellence of Moon showing again, and it is a Demon Hunter now. Was waiting a little bit, but still getting him to level 3 pretty soon, I guess, with the Mercenaries, with the Murlocs. There's plenty to creep.
Yeah, we saw last game, like, you know, Demon Hunter against Blood Mage. It might not seem like the most ideal scenario, but it did enough. Like, he was countering his opponent's army so well that it didn't really matter that he had the Demon Hunter against the Blood Mage.
He was such a sick tank. And speaking of tanks, Moon rushes Mountain Giants again. 50 supply, like usually we had the Mountain Giants as the 64 supply jump from 50 to 64, but now Night Elves are going for this unit earlier from 43 to 50, then queue the upgrades, and then you're ready without breaking upkeep. This might be smart if you can hold it.
He's already getting +1 armor. This is... it's crazy. Double giant in production. Tree of Eternity about to finish, so he's going to be able to grab the orb immediately. And the positioning of every building is so well thought of. You see he has 3 Moonwells in the main base. The lores are pretty well placed. There's a bunch of Moonwells at the expo. And the shop is between both bases, near his army. Like he's thought of everything so well.
I don't know, man. I think I like Sonic's base build better. Okay, we have the castle check as well. Of course, that is way later than Moon's, who's already finished. And he does have the resources for the first orb or the upgrades or whatever he needs. Sok is staying in no upkeep, though. He's getting more bang out of the buck from the gold mines, the 1,300. But again, lumber is so low.
Yeah, he needs to add one more peasant. He's on 49 right now. He already got the lumber upgrade at least. And yeah, Sok, he's doing exactly what I talked about earlier. He kind of pretended he was going to be rifles, then the 2 barracks got scouted, and the fact that he was tier 2, and then Moon is like, okay, obviously I'm going to go giants. So instead, Sok will try to go into knights much earlier here instead of doing a strong push. Yeah, the problem with that is that Moon, he has some big opportunities to then add fairy dragons. He could add chimps. If he makes the right mix of MGs and bears, it's still so hard to fight against that very effectively, and in the meantime, it's just creeping a lot.
Okay, once again, workshop priests. This Mountain King, man, he needs potions down the road. I guess we do have clap, but... oh. It is bears, actually.
Yeah, he went clap level 2.
Yeah.
So I think the best choice for Sok is to add a Blood Mage 3rd here to feed that Mountain King a lot of mana, and then he can just keep clapping in the fight.
Yeah, it does work with Siphon level 1 against Mana Burn level 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, Siphon is really amazing.
I was about to say broken? Okay. Okay. Do you think Moon is going bears because there's no fountain here and he wanted to use Rejuve on the Mountain Giants?
I think Moon has very high IQ in this game, and I think he saw there was no timing coming, and he's like, okay, well, you're going knights. And against knights, you don't want to mash giants like he did it against rifles. You want to just get a few giants, 2 or 3 usually, and then get a lot of bears. And look at this. Ancient of Wind, he's going to want to go fairy dragons against a human whom he knows has to add a bunch of casters, and he's going to be going inner fire. So he's countering his opponent's composition super well already.
And the positioning of Moon with the fairies and the flares was just so good. But Silver lining for Sock, the workshop is already there, he can go for gyros, and there's not much anti-air on Moon's side to counter the counter to the counter of the casters.
Player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, sounds interesting. The crystal ball found here, yeah, for Sock. He should start using that to see exactly what the opponent's army composition is, even though he should be able to anticipate kind of exactly what it is. But yeah, he's getting a bunch of upgrades, the Blood Mage third, 2 Knights in production. The question is, who plays aggressive here? Sock, when you have 80 supply, it does feel like you're the one that's going to be attacking here a lot of the time, but it's Echo Isle. There is not this anti-stalemate base in the center of the map here, like on Conceal Hill, so there's a chance they both sit back, mine a lot, and then try and get even bigger supply.
Through that, a little throwback to the GCS 2015, Moon versus Yumiko. It was a similar game to this one. It was Echo Isles, and in the end, both players agreed that this is a draw. And after 40 minutes, we had to replay that game. Maybe that's happening here as well. But Moon seems to be on the way to the middle, at least. I would kind of love to see towers by Sock at the Merchant.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's buying any hit towers, but yeah, he's just pressing forward right now. He's kind of sizing this army up, and he feels ready to fight. It's so dangerous though, because Moon has Moonwells in the background. Oh, he sent an illusion in, and Sock fell for it. He went for the Stoneball, so now he gets mana burned for free at the start of the fight. Lands the first big clap.
Actually, it was Stormbolt and clap, right? He got a lot of mileage out of that Mountain King. No burns just yet. It's another clappy with the arrival of the Blood Mage. Knight staffed out, nice micro by Sock in that position. 1,000 gold in his bank, 500 for Moon, both at 80. But it's a tug of war right there, and at the moment it looks like Sock has to pull back. Again, the mana flare form so perfect. Sock is trying to reposition the priest, but oh boy, is that a lot of damage here.
Look at the production tab. He didn't have Priest Master training. He's missing in the fire.
Oh no!
One of his best upgrades here with this. I think he didn't have the lumber for it. He also got Animal War training and Sundering Blaze really late. Tried to transfer an invuln. That should have already been on that Blood Mage probably in the first time. And Moon is staffing and saving so many units. Sock was the only player to lose a lot of units here in that last fight. He's gonna lose one more rifle before he finally TPs out. A disaster of a fight here for the human player. Moon saving so much. Heroes 4.5 and 4 now against 3, 3, and 1. And because he killed so much and barely lost anything, he's gonna start building up quite the bank. But so is Sock.
Ouch. Yeah, that hurt. That was not your time to take that fight, Sock. At least you could work from that bank, and a little bit of shop control there as well. Double invul on the human side. We got a heal scroll, double heal scroll on Moon. So when you're at this 80 supply mark, you want to queue upgrades, you want to get items as many as possible. Maybe a second orb with your Moon, but doubt to see that. Blood Mage is back, was only a level 1 hero, so definitely the best hero of the 3 to go down if you have to choose one.
Yeah, great usage of the shop control. Ooh, you don't want to stay there too long.
Ooh, Stumble was ready.
I think yes, something was about to maybe come back in the shop and he wanted to secure it. The invulns,
yeah.
But yeah, he couldn't. So instead, that's going to go to Sock, who's got triple invul now. He definitely should put one of these on the Blood Mage. He's sending in the Peasants. Sock with another very strong timing. If he gets pushed back this time, it's a disaster because technically Moon started mining from his expo a little bit later than Sock. So he's gonna have more gold available for him to work with, but this time there is inner fire.
There's inner fire, and we got the police. Are we ready to arrest Moon? We got the pepper spray ready, so off we go. Another 80-80 fight, and let's see where this goes. The fairy dragon's in the middle of everything. There's no gyros as far as I can see. The clap is wonderful against the bears. There's one mountain giant at the top, one mountain giant at the bottom. Not too sure if they get the best taunts up. The one is just surrounded by peasants, which is excellent. But Moon, oh my, the flares! The flares are killing Sock. This damage is surreal.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that he didn't target the fairy dragons with the rifles because they literally set up on top of the whole human army, so they would have died pretty quickly if he just shifted the attack on them. But Sock here, he just pulled back against the flared fairy dragons. He re-engages that Mountain King, walking with so much mana. Demon Hunter completely out of mana himself. His Moon overextending here. After the initial hold, the army with inner fire did so much more. Sock not re-enabling that. Okay, there's fairy dragons now again. The double staff gonna send the demon right back into the fight immediately. And Sock is doing a lot of units, but so did Moon before.
Oh boy, 2 knights Lights are queued again, but he's still only at 68. Mountain King in trouble, still has a heal scroll, but so does the Keeper. The Clap doesn't do too much anymore. The Blood Mage has to go for an invul. He has to, oh no, that wasn't the biggest siphon I've ever seen, so the Mountain King has to go back, and that Archmage has to TP out. Experience lead for Moon is growing and growing and growing as he gets the second fight of this game as well. 1k in the bank, supply is even, and 5-4 versus 3-4-1.
Yeah, Sok, I think we can see how difficult these fights have been going for him by looking at the experience on his Blood Mage. He's not even level 2 yet. That means he really hasn't killed that much units in those fights. Moon definitely, that last engagement initially wasn't great, and I don't think the Fairy Dragon setup was the best, but Sok, he didn't feel confident targeting them, maybe because there were so many of them. I think there was 3 or 4 Fairy Dragons. That does feel like a lot. But yeah, Treants inside of the main base again. He can just staff a priest, technically, to deal with this, because he has Staff of Sanctuary. Oh, he already used that. Okay, priest.
There we go.
Dispo.
For the first time, finally, that I'm with you here for the Dispo. More Knights. Is there a lack of anti-air, I wonder? It's 3 rifles and 1 gyro. Should there be more? Ah, he's going for more.
At this point, you have to be worried about chimps as well, because they're the counter to Knights and Mortars. But yeah, there were some rifles, so I kind of like that Moon didn't rush into that immediately and instead is focusing more on the ground army with Fairy Dragon support. But yeah, the upgrade's kind of crazy on both sides. They've gotten so many of them. I believe Human is 2-2 and Moon, what, can we see what he's working with? I think at least 2-2 or 2-3.
3-2 and 3-3 is finishing now.
Not bad.
It's a little extreme. We do have Knights coming in. It's another fight. The tug of war continues between them. 1 heal scroll against 2 and double orb of venom on the side of Moon now. Is it time to finally kill off these fairies? They did tons and tons of damage. Look at the flag of the Wisp coming in. 1 detonating, 2 detonating. Bye-bye in a fire. And now the fairies again in a position, but the rifles cover. Take out the first one. Level 4. Finally level 2 water elementals. There's almost no dryads in, so they could potentially do some damage. Demon Hunter again under heavy fire. Clap against the bears. He might be able to take down 2, but the 1 gets staffed out. Focus fire switch again. Stormball on the Demon Hunter. He goes down on the north side. Finally level 2 for the Blood Mage, and that's the mana burn gone. Let the Brilliance Aura work and get this Mountain King some more hammers.
Wow, I think Moon's gonna instant revive. He had his Staff of Preservation on the wrong spot in his inventory. You see, he likes to put his Staff of Preservation on the spot on the right-hand side middle. And they see he just swapped it on his demon as well. So I think that messed up his hotkeys and then he pressed the wrong button. He could have actually staffed that demon. He was actually up, I believe, on the Keeper. So a bit of a mistake and a costly one. You can't be losing Demon Hunter level 4 like this.
So expensive.
This important a game.
He was also so close to 5 if he gets level 3 mana burn here. At least he's back. That was expensive. 80 supply. Sok is working on his bank. We're getting close. Oh, clap. We're getting close to mining out the bases. Just 2 more minutes left. How much mana is on the casters? Not too much on the priests, honestly.
Yeah, they've been struggling here. I mean, when you're using a fire on everything, your mana is going to be gone pretty quickly despite having Brilliance level 2. Moon going for it here. He's getting right on top of this army. He's on the chase. Wisps coming in from every angle. Sok is like, I'm out of there. He's trying to run away. He's not town portaling just yet, but he barely has any front line. It's just those 2 Knights. The Mountain King's already half hit points. Wisps connecting with everything. All of the mana gone, a lot of the casters, and most of the heroes.
Moon with open mouth, we know that from someone, don't we? Mountain King with another clap, not using the Stormbolt to disable the Demon Hunter, just wants to get rid of these bears in the front line to take out the damage. Invo Potion and the oh my, for once the Dryads weren't dancing here. The Mortars shred them to pieces. New Fairy Dragons coming in, TP out, gotta take care of that MK and the Knights. Everything is so hurt. I mean, our days are long here as casters, but I don't want to be a priest in this army of Sok. They have to work overtime.
Is under siege.
Yeah, I'd rather be a priest in one of Death Note's game, because these guys are not working at all. How many town portals has that been for Sok? Like 4, 3? Like a lot. And the thing is, I believe he started mining from his expo earlier than Moon, so he should have less gold left available inside of the expansion, which is a very big deal in those late game, like how much gold you have for yourself.
Yeah. Sok was breaking upkeep a little later. Nobody is breaking into high upkeep, and Moon is not investing into Chimeras, as he knows that there is a little bit of anti-air, but actually it's only down to 2 rifles plus water elementals. We're not really close to big level ups for Sok. Level 3 Blood Mage would be excellent, and I think it's the next one he's gonna get for the level 2 Siphon against the Demon Hunter. But apart from that, nothing. 5-5 for Moon, but Mountain King Invis sneaky at the shop. Nice of him, right? To go invisible to a shop and still paying for what he gets.
Yeah,
I would just take it.
His one chance to win this game is, I think, Mountain King getting level 5 and Clap level 3. Because that would do a lot of damage against a lot of the ground army. He's got so many knights now, so this would be a good time to maybe add some chimps down the line, but I don't know if Moon has the economy. He's getting resistant skin only now. That was maybe a little bit delayed.
So much attention on the illusion here, takes care of it. Stormbolt into Siphon, wonderful combo by Sok. Anti-magic used and the fire is good. The priests are coming in. Sok pulls back a little, trying to snipe them, and the Wisps are still in this fight. Didn't detonate. Here's the first one. More Wisps are coming in from the bottom left-hand side. Demon Hunter trying to get into the back. Finally getting to the Blood Mage, but he's focused once again. Is the staff ready? This time was the Stormbolt too long? He's surrounded. Boom! The Knights kill him off! It smells like game 3 to me, Todd. The Knights are getting blocked. Keeper got blocked indeed. The Knights are in the back line, wreaking havoc on these archers and berserkers. And Sok, there's one direction only, and that's forward.
Moon's gonna instant revive the Demon Hunter in the center here with the Tavern. He feels like he's under a tremendous amount of pressure. The Keeper got blocked by one of his own units. Warcraft 3 pathing can be a thing of beauty, and that definitely affected here the outcome of this Demon Hunter falling at a terrible time. And Sok, this is his chance here. He needs to go for it right now. He needs to siege that expansion, say to Moon, you have to come fight me right now. Yeah. He probably knows that there was an instant revive and Moon's going to be ready to fight very soon. Clap on against the Wisp.
Oh! Bye-bye detonate. That's not working too well. The Mountain King is still low on mana now after that, but he can be fed again. The Fairy Dragon's in a decent position, but I think he can be out damaged here now. The Mountain King is looking for level 5. He's being fed. He goes for the Clap. Epicenter AoE damage, and everything at Moon's army is wearing a crimson mask. Even the Mountain Giants are not standing for too long here, as the Knights are constantly fighting a wonderful concave. It's going for the Demon Hunter once again. He won't see level 6 this game. He's benched for so long, but we get Tranquility. Oh, he cancelled it!
Oh my god, he cancelled it himself by accident. Demon Hunter stuffed right back into the fight here. This is his chance to try and get the hold. The Fairy Dragon's doing so much damage. Are they finally going to be targeted by rifles? I think so. Demon Hunter forced to use the anti-magic potion here. He's on full retreat. Sok is like, well, we forgot something here. Those Fairy Dragons are finally going to go down. And if he gets rid of all of them, those casters are going to be amazing. Even though we've seen Wisps coming in to those fights the entire game and getting rid of the entire mana pool of those casters here. There is Brilliance level 2 still being active. And now that the Mountain King is level 5, all bets are off. That guy's going to get inside of the epicenter of the army of Moon and use Clap level 3. He's getting a talent. What?
Yeah, I think it's hero focus. That's a Hail Mary for Moon. Fairy fire on something, but on what, man? This game is looking amazing. Sok is the only one to mine. The main bases are mined out. Moon at 66. He has a little bit of gold, but even the Mountain Giants, like 14 supply, share what, 400 HP? That's of course a wonderful Tranquility. This time he doesn't cancel it, but Moon willing to go back to 80. He lost, of course, a lot of Moon Worlds at the south. He lost the expansion, so he's supply blocked at the moment. And Sok is just... That is a wonderful game. Is he just expanding here?
No.
Come on, he did that before. 3 base Sok on Echo, that's a thing.
He has 80 supply, so he's just really confident right now. Here we go. This could be the last fight in the game. Demon Hunter not very close to level 6 here. That could have been something that maybe would have saved him. Moon needs to send every building that he has. He's not... doesn't have any income anyway.
But in this...
Every Moon Well that you can, sending your buildings in.
In this little needle hole, what do? He's eating the trees to open up that gap. The mortar teams actually help him. Once again, Siphon, Siphon, Clap, Clap, Clap. That's the rhythm that Sok's drum is beating to. The mortar teams are so protected. The Dryads can't get out. The MK once more. The mana burn is a little too late. Double Invo Potion on the Mountain King. He is precious, and everything in Moon's army is about to die. This might even be level 6 for the Mountain King if everything falls, but yeah, I think Moon will tap out sooner than that. Tree of Eternity goes down, and with that, Moon won't get income anymore in this game. Level 5 Archmage, Brilliance Aura 3 immediately, even more mana. He still has 3 items to work with, the heal scroll, the double invul, and this is Sock's game to take.
Typhon level 2 is so insane here. He's taking all of the mana away from the Demon Hunter and giving it to the Mountain King. So what the Demon Hunter, which was supposed to counter the Mountain King, is literally helping him at this point. So that was the really crazy third hero play from Sock here, which somehow brought him success, along with the fact that, sadly for Moon, his keeper kept getting blocked in those fights and he missed 2 staff in a row on a high-level demon, which just cannot happen at this level.
Yeah, you can't also cancel your own tranquility. The longer the game went and the longer the series goes, the more mistakes Moon is doing. And these knights, man, they're just race cars chasing for the mountain giants. This is 7 supply gone. This is a bear gone. This is a desperate tranquility trying to bath in that. But yeah, the MK will shut that down in a second. He just goes from one clap to the next, killing one mountain giant after the other. And I'm not too sure why Moon is still in this game, a little masochistic at this point. GG!
If there's any chance you want to take it, Sock with a great comeback here. Without those 5 victories near the center where he killed the demon twice, I think he would have been out of there. But he persisted here, even though it was looking like a very difficult game.
Yeah, everything went right for Moon on Concealed. The rifle push didn't really work and Sock did a couple of adjustments, I think. And it worked wonderfully. Late game carry, Mountain King. Again and again and again in several matchups. Moon was just never able to shut him down.
Yeah. I think Moon was doing really well in the first place. It's just a couple of mistakes that started adding up, but you know what? I'll take it. We get a 3rd map because of this. So like I think everybody should be happy. That was pretty action-packed here, especially for being Echo Isle, where sometimes the games are going to be much slower paced than this was.
You know, Todd, I'm getting a little old and my memory is not the best anymore, but is this the first Game 3 on the broadcast, on the main cast here? We had a lot of 2-0s.
Yeah, it feels like we've had a lot of very one-sided series, and it's nice to finally see a Game 3. It looks like we're going to be playing on Amazonia. Wow, okay, so that didn't get vetoed. Sometimes it can be a veto of human, but like not necessarily going to be the case always. I'm very curious as to how Sock is going to play. We know he's a wild player. Like not long ago, or in the DreamHack that he won, when he faced Infi's Night Elf on Conceal Hill, he did that Archmage Beastmaster push on one base. Yeah. But just now we saw him expand. He's capable of doing anything. On Amazonia, though, this is the map where we've seen him force an altar, go for some harassment, and just do crazy things in general. It's very hard to predict player. Like, if you play against him and your Moon here, do you anticipate that he's going to expand or he's going to play one base? Because this is widely different. Yeah,
at some point he just became a strategy collector. The toolbox is filled to the brim. Will he be willing to throw a curveball? Does he feel like he needs a cheesy strat against Amazonia? I mean, it's Moon on Amazonia, right? This man basically invented playing Keeper on Amazonia back in, I don't know, 1.29 or something. Even when Keeper wasn't overbuffed, Moon was already playing that. So Moon feels really, really comfortable here. Expanding is really not that easy. I don't know, 1 base, 2 base, so many questions for Sock, and I think Sock is the only one that can answer that for us.
Yeah. Expansion is not that easy if you pay attention and if you recite the 10 Night Elf commandments before the game like Moon is doing right now. I will have 3 wisps in position ready to detonate. I will be right on top of him when he goes there and does the pull. I will block the pull. I will make a shot when he's trying to do the pull, so I'll make the pull bug at the expansion if he tries to take it at all, and I will punish him. These are some of the sample Night Elf commandments against human on Amazonia. But yes, like the start of the game is going to be very important, and Sock has a very important decision to make. Does he try at all to play on 1 base here? Would that be the most viable option against Moon? And Moon all alike, like you mentioned the Keeper, and usually it's the standard on this map, but we've seen Warden sometimes be played on Amazonia also successfully, but it's really hit or miss.
Yeah, same goes for like a colorful example or a colorful approach to this. Colorful is, I think, the only Night Elf left in the world that is playing Demon Hunter Immolation sometimes on this map and on Concealed. Very rarely. Not the greatest rate of success, but you know, I just want to point it out here, it is a possibility to see a little old school Demon Hunter Flame Cloak action.
The only place I see a Demon Hunter being tried out is on Starshape stream, and he has a 0% win rate against humans, so probably not going to be seeing it, but who knows, maybe.
Is that the fault of the Demon Hunter or Starshape, though?
Both.
Both. Nice, just roast both at the same time. Alright, once again, this match is so important. This map is so important. If Sok wins this, both players are tied in the round-robin group stage at 2-2. And then the map score is also pretty even. If Moon takes this map, he's very, very likely to be in the playoffs, and he has 3 wins, which should mean playoffs for him. That's all about the positioning. Lin won his match, so he's probably ending up first in the group, but what's happening behind? Infi is catching up in points in this group as well, so no one is really allowed to slip anymore, as Soen seems to have a good day as well. It's a fascinating Group A, and you know, I hate on round robin quite a bit on our streams, but seeing how Group A and B are playing out so far,
You're loving it.
I start to like it. I start to dislike it a little less.
All right, it's confirmed. Every Back to Warcraft sanctioned tournaments in the future is going to have round robin. There we go.
Double round robin like Meisterschaft. Here we go.
I'm really happy that I'm casting this game, you know, following it as closely as I am, because these guys are so amazing at the game. Really, like, there were so many decisions that are made. You know, like, we're casting, but we can't even mention everything. There's just so much happening in those games. It might seem straightforward when you're watching. It's like, oh, well, you know, like, he lost the Demon Hunter, but there is so much more to it than that. I really like that he countered the trance the one time that they were sent in the main base nicely. You know, that there was a priest that came out. He could have also staffed one after the Mount tanking had been staffed initially, but yeah, good defense by Sok this time around. Echo Isle, definitely a much better map, though, for him to do it on than Concealed Hill was. But now we're headed to Amazonia, and I consider this maybe to be a little bit more Night Elf territory, or at least in the early game is usually where the game, you know, will go one way or another. Like, if you get an amazing start as a human and set up the expo, or even if you play one base and get amazing items and the opponent doesn't, you can get really far ahead from the start. So I'm curious what they're going to choose to do and how we begin. So let's go right into it here. Amazonia to be our 3rd map in this fantastic series at a crucial point in both of these players' journey here in this group.
Exactly. Moon scratching his head quite a bit, twisting his neck left and right. Is he getting tired? I mean, he's not the youngest anymore, 34 by now, just as Lin and Fly, and we saw that in a couple of tournaments, especially WGL. The longer the day, the weaker Moon gets sometimes. Sok, of course, still fresh, still young. We have them here. Sok for the Africa Freaks in the upper right in the red for an Archmage once again, and Moon with a Warden.
Yeah, I mentioned it. We've seen a few cameo appearances of the Warden on this map. It's very difficult to get level 3 technically, but you don't necessarily always need it. You can apply pressure on the human, make sure that they don't creep also nearly as easily. A Warden is, on paper, very good against an expansion. So you kind of nullify the chance of the human expanding very well if you go Warden, because you're going to have Fan of Knives to work with. And one thing about this map that you can do that will make a Warden way stronger as well is buy mercenaries, which on this map is done almost every time you see this kind of build here.
Yeah, there is a mercenary camp, of course, but it's...
oh my god, the Ancient of War can't go through? What? He was trying to force the... Okay, the Lightning Shield... Ooh. The Lightning Shield was bugging out for a bit, and he was like going back and forth. I thought it was really bad, but then eventually gets the Lightning Shield.
Little bit of delay, and there's another Lightning Shield right there.
We denied it!
Oh no, and that's exactly what I mean. Like, Moon's mistakes are starting to pile up. Not only on Echo here, but also the little break in between the maps didn't seem to help him too much.
And it's a straight expansion creep.
Oh my god, and it's not level 2 for the Warden.
Yeah, I think Sok did this because maybe he was anticipating Keeper, but it can be good against anything if you get away with it. And now the Wisps weren't ready and in position properly scouting for this, I think. So there was no detonates. So now he got this done very easily and quickly. And the Warden not being level 2 means that he only has Shadow Strike to work with. There's no Fan of Knives here. So Moon's getting in position to buy the Mercenary on the left-hand side. But like I said, on this map, the start is super important. Yeah. And it's a disastrous start for Moon.
Moon is going for the Shadow Priest himself, as it seems, to dispel against the Water Elemental. So not only is it hard for Sok to get it anyway, because the Mercenary camp is so far away, and it's kind of hard to do, but now looks like it's almost... yeah, it's empty, right? He got the Shadow Priest. There we go.
Yeah, it is to kill one or two of these footmen. Obviously, there is some deny potential here for Sok. Going for the Water Elemental is usually a better choice because you get that certainly. A second Abolish is available. Let's see if he uses that in a sec. Trying to go for a footman at the same time. But yeah, I think he got the Water Elemental. Gets the footman, and that's level 2. So now he can start working with Fan of Knives if he wanted to go for that at all.
He could also go for Shadow Strike and Blink, of course, to threaten Footman, to make sure to get the kills, and of course to chase this Archmage around the map. Now that Moon has the Shadow Priest, there's of course very limited healing on Sok's side. Scroll of the Beast can be amazing if we have rifles later and Wisp's not there, but a lesson from Echo Isles was Moon always has the Wisps ready, at least when there's inner fire. But maybe you can find a time for the Scroll of the Beast a little earlier.
Yeah, Sok trying to block the Troll Berserker here and get a snipe on it, but it should live, and Sok might be overextending here with these units. He's losing a lot of them already.
3 footmen down already.
Yeah, and
experience.
When you straight expand like this, you don't have many footmen to work with either, so you can't sacrifice them like this.
A player's forces are under attack.
Both look a little shaky, if you ask me. Is it the nerves? Is it the scale of this $55,000 tournament that it's getting to them? They know the situation is tough. Infi is catching up in points. Both are under pressure here, and it shows.
Yeah, Sok, I like the choice of going back to his lab here and securing that, because getting a Shredder is just so amazing at this stage. And again, he loses one of the peasants here. Definitely more mistakes than we would see from them usually, so yeah, you might be onto something with them being a little nervous. I wonder what Moon's exact game plan is here from there, because he just didn't have the best of start. He teched now, like does he try and counter expand? He still hasn't selected a second spell, by the way. He might, so this tells me he might wait for level 3 and then see, is he in a position to maybe Shadow Strike the Archmage to death, or does he take Fan of Knives level 2?
Here we go, a little bit of normal damage against the Warden, down to 50%, but of course
He's about to get level 3.
No threat for the Warden, okay. Oh, there we go, Shadow Strike. That was a big one.
He Shadow Strike before he got level 3.
Another little mistake.
Yeah, I think the Archmage would have been forced to TP or died if he had waited for that. He lost patience.
Naga now. With a hurt and empty Warden like that, he opts to go for a hero that's usually tempo. And he's moving away from Sok's base as well, probably opening up his own gold mine.
Yeah, I'm really curious. What's the plan? He has quite a few units here out. Huntress all on the way. He's just gonna push with the Shredder. I think he was even considering buying the other Shredder, like, you know, Sonic style, because he was scouting the lab earlier with his one Wisp, but obviously that was bought by Sok and there was nothing Moon could do about it, because even if he bought it, he would have gotten sniped immediately.
Okay, so instead of a super late game like Echo Isles, we go for a super heavy tier 2 push by Moon. Switching gears it is. He wanted to go for level 2, he will get that soon for Fork Lightning. At the moment the Arcane is only burning the Warden. It's level 1 Fan of Knives, so it's healable against that, but the Shredder and the Archers are dealing with this tower as if it's made out of paper. The Fork Lightning, a shocking kill for these peasants, and this expansion is not mining anymore.
This is actually a great attack here. Like, you're not supposed to be able to do this, I feel, in the position that they were in. But Moon, he calculated this perfectly. He put the Archmage really low on hit points. He knew that the Archmage and the army was going to be out of position, and then he hit the Expo with enough to kill towers very quickly. And now that that's been sniped, he can apply tremendous amounts of pressure. And because, like, on this map, the expansion is very hard to creep, it feels like he's almost like all in here. Oh, he canceled the stuff?
Yeah, he wanted the potion. Tier 2 just finished. I think he wanted the potion. Now he's healthy again. Smart move, but he's about to lose that Zeppelin if there's no... that Zeppelin, that Shredder, if there's no Zeppelin coming. That's what I wanted to say. Here we go, and that is a 400 gold investment that is not paying off. Sok in all sorts of trouble here, but the push has a ceiling, and that ceiling is usually once tier 2 is online, and we're getting there. Mountain King cute, another footman down. He wanted to deny, a little too late, and behind this attack, it's not an all-in for Moon. He's going for tier 3.
Yeah, Naga already level 2.5, by the way. Like,
yeah,
Naga's been fighting a lot. Yeah, he's been fighting a lot and killing a lot of stuff. getting Naga 3 here pretty early would be huge for Moon if he was able to do that. Usually off of one base, you can't really go for Mountain Giants nearly as well, unless you're like creeping a lot and, you know, saving gold and all of that, which he hasn't been. Like, he's been fighting quite a bit. So it tells me he's probably gonna go for bears here up first, but Moon started a tree to expand eventually. And Sock's on 29 supply!
Nothing. And interesting to see the Mountain King no Blood Mage against the Warden. Feels like Blood Mage is always the counter on a Warden, like especially when we look at maps like Tyrannistan. But he's trusting in the damage, I guess.
Yeah.
As there's no mana burn as well.
Yeah, we saw last game what Mountain King can do. Even against mana burn, in fact. Yeah. He countered that with the Blood Mage eventually. That Mountain King won him the game, single-handedly almost, with those claps and stone balls that he had in those fights.
Year 3 is about to be finished, then it's orb time. Moon still not the biggest bank. We do get... Oh, we have to invest a lot into economy for Sock, so... Oh! What a snipe! Does he have enough? Are there wisps nearby for the detonate? Doesn't seem like it. Also, Footman sent to the laboratory, so maybe there's a Zapper if he needs it, but he even... Like, he doesn't. Stormbolt against the Warden. That's a kill on the tree, and that buys him so much time. I doubt it's the Zapper, but it might be a Zeppelin. Exactly. Sock evacuates with a big kill. Gotta be careful with that Archmage once again. There's a stab. There's a Zeppelin. But he's just...
Oh my god, the Zeppelin!
Oh no! The end's there! Oh, the Ancient of War is under attack, but the Zeppelin in the south at the gold mine at the 6 o'clock. Is he free again?
Yeah, Moon didn't see it, and the creeps let it go. They're merciful gods. Ooh, that was so scary for a second. If the Ancient of War hadn't been there aggroing the creeps with some of the units, those creeps would have just sniped the Zeppelin, and those units would have been stunned and stuck down there.
Warden hunting for the kill. Archmage has a TP. Is he forced to it? Nope, trying to dodge this. He wants this Renegade Wizard so bad. It would be big, and he gets it! Item is the Robe of the Magi. More mana for the Mountain King. Always nice. The rifle goes down. Warden? Ah, Riju. Okay, I thought, oh, where is he taking with that Warden? Riju is a good explanation for that.
So Warden's not going to be working with any blink at all. It's just going to be Shadow Strike, Fan of Knives, and there's no Blood Mage to steal the mana here. So, of course, Mountain King can be scary, but so can the Warden with a lot of very strong damage spells here. Stock on 48 supply. He doesn't have much of a bank because of how much he was harassed and the break-in into his expo initially. So Moon can now expand on location, and if that goes up, he's still very much in this game. Hitting a bit of supply block here, by the way. That bear is not actually being produced in the main base.
Okay, yeah, supply block indeed, but the two farms are ready. Can go up to 60 Qs. Upgrades now to stay just a little bit longer in no upkeep. Spends his money on items, on upgrades, so everything but units at the moment. And I think Moon will do pretty much the same, as he's yet has to go for an orb. He's still waiting for this expansion to finish. Also for him, upgrades. And okay, it's just an illusion, no problem at all. So okay, for the first time in forever, we have a little bit of a break here on the map. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they've gone into a bit more creeping. Mountain King getting closer to level 3. Naga is almost level 4 and Warden's level 4.5. So the fighting potential of Moon here with Fort Lightning level 2, Fan of Knife level 2, and potentially to get level 3 there is going to be really big. This is the worst time for Sock to be fighting here. He just broke upkeep, but the units that he made are still missing in this fight. Oh my god, he's just taking the fight. This is amazing for Moon. If he can kill a lot of these units.
He'll scroll for the rifles. He's trying to save as much with the Zeppelin as possible, but Moon seems to be getting the kills. Militia is coming. The police, can they arrest Moon this time? Bears are falling thanks to this Mountain King. Once again, a wonderful weapon, but he's also very hurt. That's level 3. That's a huge upgrade in damage. There's no bandage this time to save anything. There's, of course, also no siphon to get rid of that mana on the Warden. Level 4.5 for her. Mountain King is trying to get another kill. Doesn't get it. Dust settles. 47 versus 51. Sock still with the better economy, as Moon is now in upkeep, but the fight was going to Moon, who almost donates a bear, but the Warden is getting scary close to 5.
Yeah, Moon wants to fight again because there's not going to be Militia, but he doesn't have that much mana yet. He does have 2 Fan of Knives here, which might be enough to get a bunch of kills, which will give him Fan of Knives level 3 here in a second. One more rifle about to go down. Lightning Shield was used on the creep. Troll Berserker is barely going to escape with the Town Portal, but Moon will get level 5 immediately behind this here with those creeps left over. Actually not. He's very close to it, but not quite.
How good were you in math back then, Todd?
Terrible. No, that was decent.
Flute of accuracy though, and that is the best item probably for a rifle army. 10% more damage on them and water elementals and the archmage. But yeah, Moon is getting level 5 here from the Murlocs. What
The flute is the best case scenario here when you're going for mass rifles like this. But here's the thing, Moon has Expo now.
Yeah.
So now he has the economy very easily to go into MGs. And if he adds even just one single or two mountain giants to his army against a rifle-based army, it's so hard to win the fight from there for Sok.
Once again, it seems like we get a little bit of a stalemate situation here, but Sok, as our observer No Hero is pointing out, 2 ivory towers in the inventory. Is he towering up the Expo?
Yeah,
Slightly to the right.
Gonna go for that Expo, even send the police.
High
A
pressure
player's
situation
forces
for
are
both
under
of them.
attack.
Walden about to get 5 maybe on one of the small creeps. No! Oh my god, he must be missing so little experience.
Yeah.
It's like 1 pixel from level 5. Alright, so this is it. He needs to win this game right here and then. He knows that there could be giants down the line, so this is the one fight he needs to win. He has Clap level 2 to help him out. Creates illusions of the Mount King. Walden gets level 5 at the start of the fight here. Fan of Tides level 3 is going to be huge against these rifles, but there is 2 healing scrolls for Sok, who again has found True Shot here to try and help out against this army. Moon knows he has some time, he's trying to retreat and then re-engage. But Clap is netting big time.
Exactly. Not only the damage, but also the crowd control. But guess what? It's just a hero kill! Moon with the combo! That was so much damage. Sok didn't expect that. There was an invul, there was a heal scroll, but he didn't use anything. Maybe a little busy with the ivories. Oh, what a disaster! Now the Fork Lightning hits, it's GG! And that's the win for Moon. Ooh, what a big point!